Unveiling the hidden truth of the soul, embrace the mystical journey of awakening. I never expected a single dream to change everything. My life drifted like a leaf in the wind, directionless, filled with doubt. The emptiness in my chest became a familiar weight, one I carried with me every day. I sat in my dimly lit room, staring at the wall, feeling the walls close in. The world outside blurred in greeting under the heavy rain. It was as if nature itself was weeping with me. Then came the night of the dream, a surge of vivid colors and ethereal whispers. I found myself in a forest, the trees breathing with an energy I could almost touch. Their leaves shimmered like emeralds, reflecting a light that felt sacred. What is this? I wondered, heart racing, as the ground pulsed below me. The air was thick with mystery, and my senses tingled with anticipation. In the distance, a soft humming beckoned, weaving through the trees, wrapping around my mind. I stepped closer, drawn by an invisible thread, feeling a pull deep within me. Was it hope? Was it fear? The humming grew louder, filled with secrets of the universe. I shivered, the anticipation wrapping around my heart like tendrils of smoke. I reached out, then the dream shattered. I woke up gasping, the echoes of that forest caught in my throat. That I and the days that followed, I felt as if the world had shifted beneath my feet. Signs revealed themselves in the strangest of places. A bird sang a melody too perfect to be random. A puddle caught the sun just right, making it shimmer like a portal. Each moment felt alive, electric, urging me to pay attention. My thoughts spiraled, unanswered questions bombarding my mind. What did it mean? Why now? As the days turned into weeks, uncertainty held a tight grip on me. I wandered through my daily routine, half-focused, searching for something, anything that could make sense of this change. Once familiar ground felt foreign, wrapping around me like a fog, leaving me on the edge of clarity and confusion. What was I meant to see? Was I missing something? The sensation of something left unspoken lingered. I felt it in the silence of night, in the quiet hum of the world surrounding me. It was only a breath away, but I couldn't grasp it. I felt my heart race as I pondered my place in all of this. Each moment grew heavier with unasked questions, the answers hidden just beyond my reach, and then came the visions, shapes and colors dancing in the corners of my mind, guiding me towards a horizon where reality seemed to bend. I could see it clearly, yet I was still lost. Was it a path? A trap? I held on to that feeling of something profound looming, whispering promises of awakening, yet shrouded in mystery. Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. The following days unfolded with a sense of urgency, the forest of my dreams haunting me like a memory I couldn't quite place. I sought solace in the familiar, wandering through the park near my home, where my feet knew the path even if my heart felt lost. The trees loomed tall, their branches intertwining like ancient fingers reaching for the sky. I looked up, searching for signs, desperate for clarity, yet feeling smaller under their watchful gaze. That it was there, in that sanctuary, amidst the rustle of leaves and the soft chatter of birds, that I encountered an elderly woman seated on a bench, her eyes reflecting both wisdom and mischief. She seemed out of place yet perfectly at home, a patch of sunlight in a world shrouded in ambiguity. As I approached, I felt a tug of familiarity, as though I had known her beyond this life. "Do you seek something, dear?" she asked. Her voice was warm yet laced with a knowing that unsettled me. "I am trying to understand," I stammered, the depths of my confusion spilling out like water from a cracked vessel. "Ever since the dream, everything has changed. I sense something is calling me, but I don't know what it is." A faint smile curved her lips, and she gestured to the ground with weathered hands. "What you seek is often beneath your feet. The truth is rooted deep, nourished by experiences forgotten. What do you mean? I leaned closer, the lure of her wisdom too powerful to resist. Life is a tapestry woven with threads of experience, each color representing the lessons we learn. The forest in your dream, it holds the essence of your soul, beckoning you to embrace your fears and desires alike. Often, we shy away from what the heart craves, too tangled in our doubts. Her words resonated, echoing like a whisper from the trees. Could it truly be so simple? To listen. I had spent so long wrestling with the questions within me, waiting for answers to manifest as grand revelations. But perhaps the journey was to embrace the small, the subtle. Go back, she instructed softly. Return to the place where nature sings, and listen. Every spirit has a message. Fueled by her genuine encouragement, I felt a spark igniting within me. I thanked her, taking one last look at her serene face as I made my way back to the park. I could hardly believe the weight of my heart felt noticeably lighter, newfound resolve guiding my steps. Where the forest had once felt an unreachable realm, it now pulsed like a living heartbeat, urging me forward. That night, I returned to my dreams. The forest was vibrant, each leaf alive with whispers, beckoning me deeper still. This time, I knew I had to face whatever awaited me, an invitation to the unknown that demanded courage. Through the swirling mists of light, I noticed a flickering presence in the distance, a figure cloaked in shadow, shifting like a flame caught in the wind. Who are you? I called out, a mixture of fear and curiosity rising in my chest. The figure turned slowly, revealing a face both familiar and foreign. Was it my reflection, or something more ancient, echoing across time? It opened its mouth, and though no sound emerged, I felt the waves of energy wash over me, resonating in my soul. The ground beneath me trembled, and a rush of memories flooded my mind, faces of love lost, dreams dashed, and moments of joy intertwined. Was that what I had been avoiding? The wholeness of my existence, the light and the dark, the lessons contained in every part of my journey. As the figure began to dissolve into particles of light, I reached out, yearning to grasp the fleeting connection. The sensation ignited questions anew, sharper and more profound. What does it mean to embrace all of me? How do I reconcile the shadows with the brilliance? And in that moment, as the forest swirled around me, I awoke once more, heart racing, breathless from the encounter. As dawn broke, the sunlight spilled through my window like the echoes of my dream, each ray a reminder that my quest had only just begun. What treasures lie hidden beneath the layers of my being? What truths await in the unspoken corners of my heart? With each day, the adventure deepens, inviting me to explore and to understand. The answers may be hidden, but the search, what could be more enriching than that? The following days carried an air of electric anticipation, each sunrise a canvas drenched with possibilities. I spent hours in the park, revisiting the wise woman's bench, hoping for her return, yet battling the silence that wrapped around me like a fog. Instead, nature became my confidant. I observed the rhythms of the trees, the subtle way the wind danced through their branches. Every rustling leaf seemed to urge me to listen to the world around me, and the world awaking within. One evening, as the sky blushed with hues of orange and lavender, I wandered deeper into the park, drawn perhaps by an instinct more profound than my own. There, where the path branched unexpectedly, I discovered a secluded grove. The air felt different here, thick with a magnetic energy that pulled me into its embrace. I stepped carefully, as if entering sacred ground, mindful that each footfall could awaken the spirit's yearning for connection. The grove was a sanctuary, encircled by ancient trees whose twisted trunks told stories in their rings. In the center, a large stone stood, worn smooth by the passage of time. My heart raced. This was no ordinary stone. It pulsed with a rhythm, resonating in harmony with my own heartbeat. As I approached, I felt a surge of recognition ripple through my being, as if this stone had been waiting for me, holding questions and answers intertwined. Without thinking, I placed my palm against the cool surface, and in that moment, a vision enveloped me. I was transported into a realm where colors erupted in waves of energy, vivid and alive. I saw shadows shifting, patterns weaving in a dance of creation and chaos. Moments of my life unspooled like threads before me. Births, losses, joy, and sorrow blended into a tapestry, each element necessary and vital to the whole. "Embrace it," a voice whispered, soft yet penetrating. It reverberated through my entire being, igniting an awakening long overdue. Confusion nested in my heart. Was this truly a call to revel in my pain, to accept the fragments of my existence as fundamentally linked to my essence? I hesitated, the weight of regret pulling me down like heavy stones. But the very core of the vision began to shift, showing how each experience, each shadow, held gifts wrapped in the anguish I had carried. As the imagery faded, I withdrew my hand, breathless, grappling with the enormity of it all. The grove, once silent, felt alive as if it bore witness to my revelations, the trees swaying in rhythmic agreement. I craved to unravel this enigma further, yet deep down, I grasped that understanding would not come easily, nor should it. Leaving the grove, the cool evening air wrapped around me, laced with a sense of urgency. I moved slowly, savoring the new lens through which my life appeared. The people I passed, the laughter resonating around me, even the cries of distant children weaved together as part of the same harmony I had glimpsed within the stone. Yet, with each revelation, new questions unfurled like the petals of a flower still emerging from a bud. Was it enough to merely acknowledge the shadows, or did I need to dive deeper into their essence? How could I transform fractures into pathways leading to wholeness? In the stillness of the night, I realized I stood at the edge of a precipice, one that whispered tales of the human experience, rich with pain, beauty, fear, and love, yet, questions lingered unbidden. Was I ready to embrace the entirety of my truth, even the parts cloaked in darkness? What awaited in the depths of my spirit, waiting for the moment when I would dare to seek? The mystical journey was unfurling before me, a beckoning toward transformation that trembled with uncertainty and promise. As I laid down to sleep that night, I felt the weight of the stone still pulsing within me, a reminder that my exploration had only just begun. What if the answers I sought lived not in the resolution of my pain, but in the fearless embrace of it? The days that followed were tinted with an odd mixture of hope and anxiety, like a landscape painted in twilight shades. I returned to the grove with a longing that gnawed at my insides, an insatiable urge to unearth more truths hidden beneath the surface of my being. Each time I placed my palm against the stone, new visions unfolded, a deeper understanding of not just my life, but of existence itself. One afternoon, as a storm brewed on the horizon, a mysterious figure appeared at the edge of the grove. Clad in a cloak that billowed in the wind, they stood silent, watching the turbulent skies. Curiosity mingled with caution as I stepped closer. The figure turned, revealing an ageless face crowned with wild hair and piercing eyes that seemed to peer into my very soul. "Why do you seek the stone?" the figure asked, their voice a soft rush like the wind through the trees. "What do you hope to find within its depths?" "I seek understanding," I replied, though even as I spoke, I felt the uncertainty hanging in the air around us. "I want to embrace my pain and transform it into something greater." "Understanding is but a shadow on the path to wisdom," they said, taking a step closer, the energy weaving between us like a vivid tapestry. "You may find the answers you seek, but they may lead to questions you are not yet ready to confront." I stood still, torn between the allure of their wisdom and the trembling fear of the unknown. "What if I am ready?" I asked, my voice firmer than I felt inside. "Ah," the figure chuckled softly, a sound that felt both gentle and knowing. "Readiness is a dance with the heart and the soul, two partners forever in motion. It is not the destination that defines you, but the journey itself." With those words hanging in the air, a flash of lightning illuminated the grove, followed by a crack of thunder that vibrated through my bones. I shuddered, my heart racing, but the figure remained as still as a statue, calm amidst nature's fury. There was a profound clarity in their presence, an understanding that surged through me as I watched the storm roll in. "What should I do?" I asked, a sense of urgency growing within me. "Step into the storm. Embrace the chaos. It holds wisdom you have yet to grasp," they replied, gesturing toward the wild winds raking through the trees. "Only through immersion can transformation begin." The figure disappeared as suddenly as they had come, leaving me alone in the grove, the whispers of the wind swirling around me like a living entity. Hesitation trickled into my heart, battling with the fierce yearning to know. The rain began to fall, heavy and unyielding, each drop a resonant call to join the chaos unfolding around me. I hesitated for only a moment, then, driven by an instinctual force, I stepped into the downpour. The coolness enveloped me, soaking through my clothes, cleansing away the lingering doubts. I stood there, arms outstretched, as the storm raged on, surrendering to the wildness of the moment. With every droplet that struck my skin, memories arose, echoes of laughter, the warmth of love, but also the sharp edges of loss and despair. They clashed together, painting emotional landscapes that felt both tumultuous and beautiful. In the chaos, I realized the past was always there, not as a burden but as the foundation upon which I could build new understanding. I felt winds of clarity carve into my spirit, releasing the weight I'd carried for so long. The storm was not merely a destructive force, it was a teacher, imparting lessons in resilience, in the necessity of dismantling old structures to create new ones. Perhaps I was beginning to understand each struggle, each moment of pain, was intertwined with my journey toward wholeness, but as the storm began to dissipate and a fragile calm washed over the grove, I found myself grappling with another question. Could this newfound clarity persist, or would it be swept away like fallen leaves in the wake of the next storm? Was embracing the chaos enough to unveil the hidden truths of my soul, or would I need to venture even further into the depths of my fears and desires? As I stood there, the cool air drying on my skin, I felt exhilaration mixed with an underlying uncertainty, a reminder that the journey was far from over. What if true transformation meant flowing with the rhythms of my life, continuing to explore the shadows within, and finding enlightenment in the very heart of chaos? The following days found me restless, each sunrise illuminating a world that felt both familiar and foreign, the delicate balance between clarity and doubt shifting like the sands of the shore. My pulse quickened with an unquenchable thirst for knowledge, a hunger pushing me to delve deeper into the essence of my being. The memory of the enigmatic figure lingered at the edges of my consciousness, their words carving pathways through my mind. One morning, I returned to the grove, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and new beginnings. The stone pulsed gently beneath my fingertips, resonating with the vibrations of my heart. This time, I hoped to unlock something even more profound, to peel away layers of fear and doubt, and confront the shadows that danced just beyond my reach. As I closed my eyes, seeking to connect with the energy of the stone, visions swirled around me, an intoxicating dance of colors and shapes. I felt the presence of the storm, not as a distant memory, but as a familiar companion whispering secrets into my heart. And amidst the intricacies of these visions, a new figure appeared, drenched not in storm-worn wisdom but instead cloaked in the softness of calm. "Do you remember me?" the figure asked, their voice a warm breeze caressing my skin. It was a woman, her features radiant and alive, as though she embodied healing itself. I don't think so," I stammered, caught off guard by the buoyancy of her spirit. "Yet you do," she smiled, echoing the words I had not yet spoken. "I am the light that emerges after the storm. The knowing that comes from acceptance. My name is Serafina." "Why are you here?" I asked, overwhelmed by the juxtaposition of her serene presence against the storm's tempestuous energy that still crackled in the air. "To illuminate your path through acceptance," she replied softly. "You have danced with the storm, but now it is time to embrace the sunlight and its reflections of hope, the balance between chaos and calm. Have you confronted the full spectrum of your emotions?" There was something profound in her inquiry. I realized that while I had reveled in the storm's chaos, the depths of despair had often been easier to approach than the luminous edges of joy. "I am afraid," I confessed, the vulnerability spilling forth. "What if I let the light in only to find it extinguished?" "The fear of losing light often outweighs the courage to invite it in," she said, stepping closer, the warmth radiating from her like a refuge. "True transformation lies not just in immersing oneself in chaos, but in celebrating the beauty of light, the acceptance that joy and pain are intertwined in this intricate design we call life." I pondered her words as a gentle breeze swirled around us, carrying with it the sweet scent of blooming flowers. The grove felt alive, the essence of nature echoing the wisdom of her presence. I had faced the storm, now I needed to embrace the dance of colors, the myriad moments of joy that flowed alongside sorrow, like an unbroken thread weaving through the tapestry of my soul. Can I truly welcome joy, knowing the storms may return? I asked hesitantly. Ah, therein lies the heart of your journey, she mused, her eyes sparkling with encouragement. It is not about evading storms, but about becoming fluent in the language of your emotions, to learn how to navigate through them. Accepting both joy and sorrow allows your spirit to soar freely. In doing so, you may come to know inner peace. As her words cascaded into my being, I felt an invitation unfurl within me, a call to seek beauty in every crevice of my life. The sun now peeked through the canopy above, casting shimmering patterns onto the ground, beckoning me to step forward into the light. With newfound clarity, I whispered my affirmation, a promise not only to embrace the chaos but to welcome joy in kind. With an open heart, I took a step back, feeling the stones beneath my feet solid, grounding, a foundation from which to rise. But even as hope began to swell within me, I couldn't shake a lingering question. What happens when the light dims once more? Would I have the courage to seek it again amidst the shadows? As Serafina smiled, her presence beginning to fade, I felt an undeniable certainty weave itself through the fabric of my heart. The journey was not linear, but a spiral of experiences, emotions flowing seamlessly into one another. Perhaps there lay the answer in continuing to marvel at the rich interplay between light and dark. What truths would reveal themselves if I dared to explore that delicate balance further? The grove had become a sanctuary, a sacred space where the whispers of nature intertwined with the resonances of my own soul. I returned often, tracing the familiar path as if it were the lines of an ancient map guiding me to hidden treasures. Each visit deepened my connection to the stone, and in those moments, I experienced a fusion of energy that sparked both questions and revelations. One afternoon, the golden sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows that danced playfully among the trees. I approached the stone once more, its surface cool and inviting. As my fingers glided over it, resonating with the beats of my heart, I closed my eyes, allowing the familiar pulse of energy to wash over me. Visions started to swirl in front of me, images fluttering like leaves caught in a gentle breeze. I saw a river, its waters clear and shimmering, moving effortlessly toward a far-off horizon. In this river, I caught glimpses of past moments, joyful laughter shared with dear friends, quiet evenings spent with a beloved book, the warmth of sunlight filtering through the leaves on a spring day. But soon, darker currents began to ripple through the water, memories of pain and loss surfacing like sudden waves, turbulent and threatening to pull me under. Why are you afraid of what you see? A voice broke through the cacophony, grounding me. It was a voice I recognized. It resonated with the lingering echo of Serafina, now more a gentle reminder than a physical presence. I am afraid they will overwhelm me, I replied, the words spilling out before I could second-guess them. Yet they are but part of the flow, aren't they? She urged, her voice an infusion of calm. What lies beneath those turbulent waves? Beneath the sorrow? I took a deep breath, allowing the question to dance in my mind. Perhaps understanding. Exactly, she encouraged gently. What if each experience, each emotion, was a stepping stone toward a greater understanding of your own heart? The truth of the soul is often hidden behind the layers of fear. With newfound awareness, I visualized the river as an entity, a living tapestry of experiences adorned with both joy and pain. They braided together, creating a story deeper and richer than I had ever acknowledged. In letting myself flow with the current, rather than fighting against it, I discovered a current of resilience emerging from the depths, stitching together patches of grief into patterns of wisdom. Will I always have to navigate these currents? How do I carry my light in the shadow? I ventured further, yearning for something tangible to hold on to amidst the uncertainty. The light is within you, Serafina's voice resonated, echoing softly like a golden note across tranquil waters. Each time you face sorrow, each time you embrace the joy between those moments, you strengthen your spirit. Your journey is not about avoiding shadows but instead recognizing that both light and dark are essential to the same scroll of existence. In that moment, I felt a spark ignite. It flickered gently, illuminating the spaces in my heart where shadows had taken residence. I envisioned each piece of my life, my hopes, my fears as parts of an intricate mosaic, bathed in both luminance and shadow. It was all too beautiful to only focus on the light or the dark. Together, they illustrated the complexity of life. As my thoughts danced through these reflections, a tantalizing scent drifted towards me, rich and intriguing. I opened my eyes to find the grove blossoming before me, the flora blooming with colors I had never seen before. Vibrant purples and blues swirled together with fiery reds and oranges, unearthing a new world within my familiar sanctuary. Stepping away from the stone, I approached a cluster of wildflowers that seemed to beckon me closer. The petals shimmered with an iridescent glow, the sunlight weaving an embrace of warmth around them. Leaning down, I noticed something nestled among the blooms, a single seed, small yet undeniably potent, wrapped in the loss of a bygone season. What will this seed become? I wondered aloud, feeling both a sense of loss for the past and an exciting anticipation of the future. It holds endless potential, came the whisper of Serafina once more. Like you. As I pondered her words, excitement mixed with trepidation. Yet the unanswered questions loomed larger than ever. What kind of flower would I spring forth to become? What layers of myself still remained shrouded in mystery, waiting for the warmth of understanding to coax them into bloom? I took a deep breath, ready to ponder the unknown complexities hidden within me, feeling the warmth of hope intertwine with my willingness to grow amidst both joy and sorrow. The essence of the journey tantalized me, igniting a deeper inquiry into the magic of transformation and the hidden truths cradled within the soul. Would I find the courage to cultivate my own garden, nurturing it with the acceptance of every shade of experience? As days faded into weeks, the grove began to transform. Every visit felt like a rendezvous with the sacred, a pilgrimage of the heart. I found myself returning not only for the moments of reflection but for the whispers of a universe that vibrated within that sacred space. Each visit was a dialogue, nature speaking in rhythms and harmonies, and I, the curious listener, drawn into an exploration of my own depths. One afternoon, as the sun crested the canopy, casting a mosaic of light and shadow across the forest floor, I felt an inexplicable urgency to explore further. My spirit urged me to venture beyond the familiar stones and wildflowers. Perhaps, I mused, there were undiscovered paths that could take me deeper into the heart of this magical grove. Stepping cautiously, I wove through the trees, following the sound of a distant trickle. My heart raced with anticipation and curiosity, for discovery often lay in the unknown. I could hear the soft murmurs of water speaking secrets, secrets that felt both inviting and daunting. As I approached the source, I stumbled upon a small, crystalline pond, its edges draped in a tapestry of ferns and wild grass. The surface was mirror-like, reflecting not only the sky above but also the feelings I carried within. I knelt at its edge, while a subtle breeze kissed my cheeks and ruffled the stillness of the water. Peering into its depths, I became entranced by the play of light and shadow, the juxtaposition of clarity and obscurity. There, beneath the surface, I glimpsed flashes of memories replaying familiar faces, laughter and tears, the tapestry of my life. But amidst those shadows, something caught my eye. It was a deeper current, a shimmering path leading away into a realm unseen. What is this place? I murmured to myself, feeling the weight of questions swell within. In that moment of introspection, Serafina's essence enveloped me once again, her presence radiating warmth like golden sunlight. This is the portal to your inner depths, a passageway surrounded by the waters of your experiences. What lies within may be the key to unlocking your truest self. The pond resonated with her words, each ripple in the water echoing the truth she spoke. Hesitantly, I reached out, allowing my fingers to skim the surface, breaking the illusion. The water felt cool and sent a shiver of awareness coursing through me. In the midst of that singular act, visions intensified, a kaleidoscope of past wounds and joys, doubts and resilience dancing in the crystal depths. Will I find clarity if I dive deeper? I asked, trepidation threaded through my voice. Or will I simply uncover more shadows? The journey does not seek to eliminate shadows but to embrace and understand them, Serafina replied, her tone imbued with wisdom. You must brave the depths to discover what lies beyond the shadows. The truth often resides in those hidden places. With a heart racing, I closed my eyes and took a leap of faith, plunging into the water's embrace. The world above receded as I slipped into the depths, surrounded by darkness, yet I found that it was not void but filled with glimmers of light, memories, aspirations, and unheeded truths illuminating even the murkiest corners of my soul. As I swam deeper, what I had once feared began to transform. The currents of pain morphed into currents of understanding, pulling me toward the heart of my being. I could feel the swirling eddies of my past experiences woven together. They revealed connections once obscured by time and fear. They whispered of strength I had yet to fully claim and love that waited to be reignited. Emerging from the water, gasping for breath, I tumbled onto the bank, exhilarated yet humbled by revelation. The grove felt alive, an orchestra of energy pulsing around me. I lay there for a moment, feeling the warmth of the sun blanket my damp skin, the miracle of rebirth washing over me. And the tender embrace of nature. I pondered a new question, one that fluttered in my heart like a delicate butterfly. What treasures will emerge when I accept and nurture both my light and shadow? I wondered, thinking of the seed I had found earlier. As the sun dipped lower, I realized this journey was not merely about seeking answers. It was an invitation to dance with the mystery of existence, to engage in a dialogue with both the seen and unseen. With each exploration, I could feel the deepest layers of myself waiting patiently, time-worn yet vibrant with possibility. What other truths awaited in the corridors of my soul, waiting for a brave heart to uncover them? And would I find the courage to embrace the beauty of my intricate tapestry fully, a tapestry woven with all the colors of experience? The questions lingered, shimmering in the twilight, a call to awaken an even deeper understanding within my unfolding journey. The days passed, each moment echoing with the newfound awareness swelling within me. The grove had become not just a locale but a sacred sanctuary where the boundaries of the known and unknown blurred into a gentle harmony. With every visit, I ventured further into the emerald embrace, curious to uncover what additional mysteries might dance beneath the surface of my consciousness. One morning, as dew kissed the grass with crystalline droplets, I returned to the pond, buoyed by yesterday's revelations. The water reflected the morning sun in a dazzling display, beckoning me toward a deeper understanding. Committing to a daily practice of reflection, I brought a journal, a new companion on my journey of awakening. This time, instead of merely peering into the depths, I sat at the water's edge, pondering my explorations while capturing my evolving thoughts on paper. As I began to write, each word felt like a bead on the string of my existence, a longing to articulate the shadows and light that weaved through my spirit. I wrote of my fears, no longer suffocating but breathing on the pages, exposed yet embraced. The act of writing illuminated paths within me that I hadn't dared explore until now, allowing the whispers of the grove to weave their way into the fabric of my words. Then, just as my pen flowed freely, I heard a rustle nearby. An ethereal creature emerged from the underbrush, an owl, perched gracefully upon a branch. Her feathers glimmered in the sunlight, a tapestry of gold and speckled brown, and her deep, inviting eyes seemed to pierce through the veil of my thoughts. "Why do you write?" she hooted softly, her voice a melodic inquiry that breezed through the leaves. Startled yet intrigued, I abandoned my pen for a moment. "I seek to understand myself, to navigate the waters of my soul," I replied, my voice imbued with sincerity. With a thoughtful blink, she continued, "The act of writing presumes you carry both questions and answers. The truth you seek may always swim just beyond your grasp, but the journey into your depths will reveal reflections of your essence." Her words resonated within me, urging me to push deeper still. But what if the truths I uncover are too immense, too heavy to bear? She tilted her head, considering my fears. What if they are not burdens but gifts? Each revelation comes wrapped in layers of wisdom, meant to guide you, not weigh you down. Intrigued by this perspective, I began to explore the notion of my truths as gifts rather than burdens. With each passing shudder of nature around me, the rustling leaves, the gentle flowing water, the murmurs of the wind, I felt a pull to embrace not only what I had uncovered but also what was yet to be known. "Can you tell me of your journey?" I ventured, seeking her wisdom in exchange for mine. The owl descended lower, coming closer to my realm, her voice lowering to a conspiratorial whisper. "Every creature has its darkness and light, much like the dance you cultivate within yourself. My journey lies in the balance between the silent night and the awakening dawn. I once feared the shadows where my ancestors took flight, but in accepting them, I found clarity in the quiet of the night. I mulled over her response, feeling her story intertwine with mine. The acceptance of shadows echoed in the very heart of my explorations. How do I find that balance? I implored, sensing an urgency in my quest. Engage with the essence of what makes you whole, she replied, her gaze steady and reassuring. Listen to the symphony within you. Shun none of your experiences. Instead, strive to construct a bridge between your light and shadow, a path of exploration that invites both to coexist gracefully. Dive deep, my dear traveler, and trust that you possess within you the strength to navigate the currents. With her words echoing in my heart, the grove transformed into a vibrant tapestry echoing the dim hints of twilight. I realized my writing was merely the first step in this intricate waltz. As the light began to fade, I understood that there was an art to maintaining equilibrium. Within the self, a mystical balance between the known and the esoteric. As the last rays of the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, a vision stirred within me, a map etched against the backdrop of my soul, unfolding pathways yet traversed. What would lie across those bridges of understanding? Would I find the courage to traverse them fully, allowing my experiences both joyful and painful to illuminate the way? I returned home that evening cradled by questions, reflective of the unknown. Beneath the quiet resonance of my beating heart rested the mystery of becoming. What if the integration of light and shadow revealed an even deeper essence, a truth yet to be unearthed? And in this dance with the unseen, what magnificent truths might we co-create? The night fold enveloped me in its stillness, yet it thrummed with possibility, inviting me to ponder with wonder as I placed pen to paper once more. Each morning thereafter, I found myself returning to the grove, enveloped in a sense of purpose I could hardly articulate. The owl's wisdom lingered in my mind like an echo, guiding me deeper into the realms of self-exploration. My journal became a vessel, capturing not just thoughts but emotions, resonant struggles, and fleeting insights that whispered from the depths of my being. One day, amid the shifting greens and the sounds of nature harmonizing, I noticed something new at the edge of the pond, a collection of stones, small and large, arranged in a spiraling pattern, leading to the water's edge. It was an intricate design that seemed contemplative, an invitation from the earth itself to pause and reflect. The air shimmered as if charged with magic, beckoning me closer. I approached the spiral, my heart racing with anticipation. Kneeling down, I traced the outline with my fingers, feeling the coolness of the stones beneath my touch as if they were sentient beings, alive with stories waiting to be told. A soft breeze whispered through the trees, rustling the leaves in delicate symphony, filling the air with fragrance and mystery. Sinking deeper into reverie, I recalled the owl's words about balance and weaving shadows with light. Perhaps these stones, their placement, the very existence, held meaning, a visual reminder of interconnectedness. As I contemplated each stone, I allowed my thoughts to drift toward the facets of my life they might embody: family, fears, dreams, losses, and lessons. Suddenly, I felt a stirring within me, a gentle push from the depths. I began to speak aloud, naming each stone with intention, declaring what they represented in my life. This is my fear of failure, I said, placing a hand upon a dark, rough stone. This one, I continued, touching a smooth, clear stone, is the joy of quiet moments. With each revelation, my voice became a chant, melodious and rhythmic, resonating with the natural world around me. As I reached the center of the spiral, a sensation of warmth enveloped me, washing over my skin like sunlight streaming through the trees. I closed my eyes, my heart aligning with the pulsing energy of the grove. It was as if the gathering of these stones had forged a connection, bridging my internal landscape with the wisdom of nature. In that sacred stillness, I perceived a faint shimmer just above the surface of the water, a reflection not just of my face but of myriad possibilities. I envisioned paths branching out in elegant curls, intertwining yet distinct, inviting me to explore them all. What would it mean to step upon each one? What treasures lay hidden in the nooks and crannies of choices yet unmade? As the thoughts cascaded within, I felt the urge to capture this experience in my journal, a tapestry of words reflecting both the spirals of my existence and the myriad truths I uncovered through the act of naming. Yet as my pen touched the paper, the reflection intensified, a vision forged of flickering light and soft shadows merged, coaxing forth a new realization. "Ah, dear traveler," I heard a soft whisper, leading me back to the space of calm certainty I had encountered with the owl. It resonated from within, as if the voice of my own intuitive spirit spoke directly to me. Exploration is not solely external, it is inward, too. Each step you take on the outside mirrors a journey within. The spiral leads not only to deeper wisdom but also to deeper self-acceptance. I caught my breath as I grappled with this layered truth. The stone spiral had become a metaphor for my own experiences, the turns, the visible patterns, the unseen depth beneath. It dawned on me then, an epiphany glowing like the early morning sun, perhaps the integration of these experiences, the convergence of joy, shadow, wisdom, and growth was the very essence of awakening. Yet, as the sun dipped lower in the sky, leaving a lucid twilight in its wake, I was left with an unanswered question, a gentle nudge from the cosmos to ponder. What if the truths I sought were not just about understanding myself, but ultimately about embracing my existence within a greater tapestry? How could I navigate and weave together the threads of my being while allowing the spirals of the universe to guide me? With a lingering sense of wonder, I reflected upon these profound musings as I began my journey homeward, my heart swelling with anticipation for what lay ahead. In the stillness of the encroaching dusk, I held on to the notion that every step taken forward would continue to illuminate the path, shedding light on the dualities of my existence. And as the stars began to shimmer in the night sky, I whispered into the vastness, inviting the cosmos to share its secrets, to reveal the ultimate mysteries of my soul. The days melted into one another, each drenched in the vibrant hues of awakening. The grove had transformed into a sanctuary, a living testament to the journey I had undertaken both inside and out. Each step, each whisper of the wind, every rustle of leaves had taken on a significance I had never before conceived. With each visit, the stones of the spiral seemed to resonate within my being, calling forth deeper understanding as I intertwined my roots with the wisdom of nature. As the sun kissed the horizon one fateful evening, I returned to the spiral, knowing the time had come to confront the essence of my journey. The air hung heavy with anticipation, and as I knelt beside the stones, I felt that familiar warmth envelop me, a sign that I was not alone, that the energies of the grove were with me, urging me forward into the vast expanse of my own soul. In this sacred space, I allowed myself to speak, reverberating with an honesty I had nourished over countless days. I have wandered through storms and succumbed to shadows. I have danced with joy and embraced pain. But now, I seek the ultimate truth of my being. The world around me seemed to hush, the breeze stilling as if nature itself leaned in to witness this pivotal moment. Glimmers of light danced on the water's surface, drawing my gaze. In the reflection, I could see not merely myself but the myriad threads woven together, the intricate patterns of my experiences forged by light and shadow, joy and sorrow, clarity and confusion. As the reflection deepened, a vision emerged. I stood at a crossroads, each path shimmering with possibilities. One beckoned me with the promise of comfort, a familiar route lined with the restlessness of past patterns. The other, less trodden, was alive with vibrant colors yet cloaked in the fog of the unknown. A choice whispered in my heart, a call to courage. Embrace it, a voice, gentle yet powerful, echoed in the chambers of my spirit. It was Seraphina, her essence shimmering like a beacon of hope. The truth you seek is not in avoidance or denial but in the embrace of the whole, the union of all that you are, light and dark, joy and anguish. It is in your willingness to tread the less recognizable path that liberation lies. In that moment, something shifted within me, a recognition that echoed between my heart and the vast universe. What if the essence of my journey was not about seeking an escape from discomfort, but integrating every element of my being with compassion? I closed my eyes, allowing the understanding to seep into every pore, connecting me to everything that had ever existed. I felt the heartbeat of the universe entwining with mine, the pulse resonating deeper than words could express. I was not just a solitary traveler, I was part of a grand tapestry, each thread crucial to the unfolding narrative of existence. Courage enveloped me as I opened my eyes. Wading into the waters of acceptance, I let my fears surface like small stones. I began to name each one aloud, this fear of abandonment, this longing for approval, this sorrow for the moments I let slip away. Each declaration felt like shedding skin, allowing me to strip away layers that no longer served me. As the last remnants of the sun dipped beneath the horizon, I felt the first stirrings of dusk, a soothing balm that quieted the chaos within. Standing before the pond, I breathed into the stillness, the calm settling like dust upon my spirit. "I welcome you all," I whispered, my voice barely above a murmur. I embraced the totality of my being, both light and shadow. In that quiet acceptance, I felt a surge of energy radiate from my core, sending ripples through the pond, each wave browning into golden hues and vibrant starbursts. A profound sense of gratitude enveloped me. I understood in that instant that the journey ahead was not about achieving perfection or uncovering absolute truths hidden beneath the layers of experience. Instead, it was in choosing to honor the entirety of my existence with all its imperfections that I would discover my most authentic self. Daylight faded, giving way to the night, yet the light within me burned brightly, an unwavering flame illuminating the path ahead. I was ready to explore new avenues, to embrace the beautiful, messy, intricate art of living, knowing every choice I made would resonate through the very fabric of the universe. As I made my way home, the dance of stars twinkled above, a reminder that I was never alone. Each twinkle whispered of hope, a magnificent assurance that the universe conspired alongside me, that the spirals of existence were a promise of new beginnings and sacred connection. And so, I ventured forth, a spirit ignited with the profound realization, life is not simply meant to be understood, but to be felt fully, embraced wholly, and celebrated fiercely. Each soul, like a star, holds its own light and shadows, woven together within the great tapestry of existence, reflecting the truth that we are each both the storm and the calm, the beginning and the end. In that perfect harmony of darkness and light, I found peace not just in understanding the essence of my journey but in fully living it. A simple truth unveiled: to awaken is to embrace, not to choose, but to harmonize, in the symphony of being.